especially to the House Speaker, the chair of this committee. I really appreciate this opportunity. I am Rosie Denise White, and I am someone who has experienced homelessness. It was at the end of 2015 when I became homeless due to a falsehood. And after years of litigation and successful litigation, I wrote a book about my story and my experiences. People keep asking me, why do I keep talking about that? And the reason why I keep revisiting these details is because it's central to the reason why I advocate and why I'm here today. I don't want to rehash the numbers because I know you guys are already familiar with the stats and the data. I'm here to provide a human, real-life perspective on the issue. And I think one of the things that's disturbing to me is how we lump homelessness all together. We have this perception about who the homeless are, what they look like, and other relevant things such as their background, their experiences, etc. And most of that is not true. I want us to look at homeless beyond the numbers. First of all, there's 4 types of homelessness: transitional, episodic, chronic, and hidden. Hidden homeless, or homelessness, excuse me, you can't always see that. And so I'm asking this esteemed body to consider this one stat that I'm going to give you as part of my remarks today. The studies show that 1 out of every 10 people will experience homelessness within their lifetime. I want us to pause just very briefly and think about who these people are. They're our friends. They're our neighbors. They're your kids, if you have them, classmates. They're people in your church. They're veterans. They're seniors. There's people like me. I think a lot of us forget that when we talk about homelessness. These people are human beings. And the truth is, every community in this country has a homelessness and housing issue. No community has enough. None of them. And that alone should tell you all, I hope, how serious this issue is. I'm here to advocate for specific legislation. I have my own personal ideals on things we should do, but number one, I think we have to do away with decriminalizing homelessness. It is not a common sense law. When you are homeless, you already have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Just very briefly, when I was homeless, I broke my foot as a direct result of policy. It's one of the reasons why I say respectfully, a lot of the people with a seat at the table do not understand homelessness at all. I've walked those shoes. It's hard to pull yourself up. And you forget about the trauma, the exploitation that goes along with that. My life is totally changed now. I'm a small business owner. I'm gainfully employed. I have an education. I'm a published author, an award-winning author. I could go down the list on my accolades. I'm not here to brag. That's not why I'm bringing that up. I want you to see that I am just like you. I assume you all can understand what I'm saying. That's proof that I can read, I can write, I can count, I can think. I'm not these horrible people that some of you assess homelessness to be. There was someone who went on the news earlier this year and called for all homeless people to be killed. That's diabolical. And when I hear things like that, it further lets me know that there's so many that don't understand the issue. This is why I'm calling We got to get rid of the criminalization of homelessness because, as I mentioned, the weight of being homeless is hard. If you're going to have people be homeless, this is a lifetime sentence. They already are stigmatized. And now you have something on their record when they go apply for a job or housing. It don't come back and say felon because you were sleeping in your car. Just say felon. That's what we got to stop that because it hurts people. So I'm asking that you guys reconsider that. Another piece of legislation that I strongly support is Senate Bill 374, if I have the number right. And there's also some housing bills, 4982 and 4983. All of these have to do with renters' rights, including eviction, record sealing, and expungement. Eviction is a significant driver of homelessness. I just checked while I was sitting back there. There's over 200,000 eviction cases filed in this state alone every year. Right now in Michigan, we have a fast-track summary of proceedings. That means basically you got people in court this month for April who are at risk of losing their home because they didn't pay rent for this month. That's ridiculous, in my humble opinion. Why are we fast-tracking the process? When we do that, so much is left out. You know, you get in front of these judges, they don't want to hear your story. They don't have time for the details. That's a problem. We know that there are other communities that have created a pathway to address these issues. Philadelphia is one of them. I strongly suggest that you research their new eviction model. Actually, they came up with it with COVID. And what it does is it provides legal help, but it also slows the pipeline of eviction. In that state, you can't even start the process to 30 days. The landlord must attempt. It's not optional. In this state, all you have to do is be a day late on your rent and they could start the eviction process. And because it's fast track, as I mentioned, you know, you could just be behind a day, a week, or two, and be at risk of losing your home. So I do strongly advocate for new laws as it relates to eviction. Finally, and it pains me physically to say this, I am a supporter of the Human Bill of Rights for homelessness. I believe this is Housing Bill 4197. Just to be blunt with you all, it's a shame we got to have a law to teach people or to mandate that people treat human beings with dignity. You know, I was doing some research before my speech and I wanted to see what is the role of the government just overall. And I saw that it's to protect its citizens. Homeless people are citizens. We need to stop judging and stigmatizing people. Before I was homeless, I too had my own misconceptions. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was misinformed about the realities. And throughout my journey into homeless and even afterwards, I still face stigmas and stereotypes. When people hear I'm homeless, that's all they see. That's why I was telling you about some of the other accomplishments. Many of them I had before I was homeless. That's not new. But I wanted you to see the human part of it. We have to go beyond the numbers. We have to have thoughtful conversations and not just come up with policies and legislations that sound good. We have to actually come up with processes and laws that actually work and are effective in the real world. And so I just want to leave you guys with today that my journey has equipped me with these insights. I had to learn the system, system, so that I could survive it in the real world. And so I just want to leave you guys with today that my journey has equipped me with these insights. I had to learn the system, system, so that I could survive it. And now I try to take that knowledge and go back into the real world and give that to people. A lot of people are not aware of their rights or even the process, but that's kind of part of it. And we have to do something to help people, because either we're going to be a blessing to them or they're going to become a burden in our community. One final thing, the gentleman that just left, I don't know his name, but he asked about moving people from place to place. I just wanted to tell him, when I wrote my book, it was 47 out of 50 states that criminalize homelessness. I Googled it while I was sitting back there. Now there's 48 that criminalize homelessness. That's the intent, hoping that they'll just move on down the road. But there's only so many places on this earth. These people are not going to disappear. We have to help them, or they do become a burden on our community in so many different ways that were mentioned earlier today, and those that we did not discuss. Thank you for listening to me.